Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Staff picks 2025, wrapping it up with, because we didn't get a response from our mailing list winner.
We picked.
Yep. Her,
as a group.
Heretic.
Yep.
Which, an A24. Elsa's got an itch.
The dog just lost her fucking mind all of a sudden.
And she was like trying to scratch it
there?
and running into the wall and the table.
Oh my God.
Must
Sorry.
be bad.
We'll call this a pick from our friends Jody and Chris because they kind of bullied us into watching this.
That's true. That's very true.
I'm glad when we get into it.
They kept recommending to us, like, we've seen it 20 times already.
Really? Had they seen it a bunch?
I don't know if it's actually 20 times, but
yeah.
They said they've seen it a lot, and they couldn't recommend it enough.
It's good.
Wow.
Spoiler alert. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Origins, Amy just put out
over at our Patreon.
She puts out.
Amy puts out on our Patreon, patreon.com/NOTLP.
Horror Hound Weekend, Spooky School.
This was September 2012, Horror Hound Weekend coverage, and it was our collab with the fellas at Bloody Good Horror. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So go back and listen to that.
Memories. So many memories. Also, and we keep doing Zoned Out. Got more of those coming at you. I think the last one was maybe The Lonely or Time Enough at Last. Anyways, you should be checking that out. It's a good time. You get that ad-free at patreon.com/NOTLP, as well as this, the ad-free version of this show. That's what keeps the lights on around here is the Patreon. So thank you, folks.
So over at Patreon is Topicana, which is our show where we talk about topics.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. But we were just talking about this surprise, our local famous ice cream shop, Graders, and our local Cincinnati Chili famous shop, Skyline Chili. We're doing a Skyline Chili ice cream. And I was like, there's no way this is going to be good. This is disgusting. How could you even? Mm-hmm. Andy brought it over.
Well, Amy hasn't. Her mind went straight to actual chili that's frozen with ice cream.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Well, Amy, you're always hesitant any savory ingredients in your
I'm
sweets.
not a savory and sweet
Yeah.
person. Like, I don't even like when they put bacon on a donut.
So I feel like you were predisposed to not like this.
Yes, correct.
Okay, you like Skyline Chili,
God, I love it.
and you're okay with ice cream, right?
I'm okay with ice cream.
Yeah.
I'm good with ice cream.
So
Graders has
together-
an amazing coffee.
So
ice cream.
together they should be perfect.
Right?
And verdict?
Verdict is, I thought it was pretty good. It tastes like pumpkin pie filling to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little too rich, and it's not something I would eat more than a few bites of. But it was just cinnamony. But then there was like a hit of cumin.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, what is that all about?
Yeah.
So,
And they put oyster crackers in it.
yes.
It's it really is what Skyline Chili, at least the spices of it, what they taste like together is what this ice cream tastes like. And it works. It's good.
Yeah.
It's like a big hug from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I think Andy's going to go buy 58 more of them.
I'm a hoarder.
You really liked it.
Yeah, I couldn't. At first, I was like, gross.
Right.
Yeah.
Yuck. But then it grew on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You almost killed an entire pint.
Yeah.
Graders don't make no trash.
You think Gold Star and UDF are going to collab now?
Oh my God. How pathetic. And that is some real local humor for you.
Chili
If you're
Ripple.
into Cincinnati and you wanted to know more about that, just email Andy at notlp.com.
Because Skyline is not the only chili company in Cincinnati. There's multiple Cincinnati chili companies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's even one in Northern Kentucky called Dixie Chili,
Well, that is Cincinnati.
which is Cincinnati chili. And it's really good Cincinnati chili.
There's many.
Mm-hmm.
Gold Star being one of them. And then we have UDF, our other local company that makes ice cream.
United Dairy Farmers.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
Sounds like a union.
Stop. We'll stop right now.
Yeah.
So UDF is just a local thing?
Yeah. Regional.
It's so funny because I mean, when I think United Dairy Farmers, I thought like clearly
The United
they're
States of Dairy
everywhere.
Farmers.
The United States of Dairy
We're
Farmers.
not the only ones that have farmers, Freddy.
Yeah.
They're all
Dairy
around.
farmers.
So yeah, that's what's up. Taste test.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in or around the Cincinnati area, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
But it's limited edition, so I don't know how long I think it's going to be on shelves for.
Yeah.
So make a trip down to Cincinnati.
Yeah, and who knows?
On down to Shin Shitty.
People might reject it on the whole.
I did.
Time will tell.
It will be cold on the whole.
It would be cold.
I rejected it before ever tasting it, and you know I eat my words.
Yeah,
It is a perfectly cromulent flavor of ice cream.
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, good. What else is going on?
So are we okay? We're not okay with the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing is that we were not going to watch the Super Bowl. This
Nope.
also came from Topicana, that we were out on the Super Bowl if it was the fucking Chiefs and the fucking Eagles again. So we're done. So we have our evening free except for halftime.
We're gonna watch the Puppy Bowl, right?
We'll watch the
That's what
Puppy
we
Bowl.
decided on.
Maybe we play some games or something.
Yeah,
Just do something else.
Watch some something fun
Yeah.
and not rigged.
I'm not as averse to this pairing as you guys are. Not that I want. This
Well, there's your
pairing.
problem.
I'm always like, NFL football can be pretty fun to watch sometimes.
No, it's not when you know the outcome ahead
Yeah.
of time. That's not fun.
It's like
Talk-
WWE now.
Talking
that's
to
what
you,
you're saying.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And here, let me get this straight. If there are any Chiefs fans listening to us right now, we don't hate you because you win. We
Right.
hate you because your team are full of assholes.
And the refs do. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So I
They're
just
up
want to
your
get that
butts.
out there. I like winners.
Andy really hates the Chiefs, you guys. It is like
Yeah. Hate them
Yeah,
Chiefs.
and I'm holding back too. I can't say what I really want to say, but it's
my.
bad.
Wow.
Trust me, I know what goes on in this boy's mind, and it's disgusting. Well, think of the most disgusting, awful thing you could say about another person.
And then double it.
Then double it. Cut it in half and double
Cut
it.
it and have it double it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to thank Bill for recommending Incidents Around the House to me. It's this
Book you're reading.
Yeah, and it is spooky. It's like from a kid's perspective, and it's as if a kid has the faculties and the storytelling ability of like an adult because it's internal, so they don't have to like sound sophisticated so when the dialogue comes in, it's kid dialogue, and it's
Right.
like indented to indicate it, and the rest of it's just kind of how the kid's processing everything, and it's basically kind of a monster in the closet kind of story. And it's good.
Oh, we should encourage those monsters to come out.
It's the guy who wrote Bird Box, right, Amy? Didn't you say?
What's the name?
I don't remember the author's name.
Well, isn't that great?
Incidents Around the House. I'll look it
You're
up.
not helping us at all.
And so that he looks at me as if I'm gonna know.
I know. I thought maybe.
It's that
I'm
guy.
not reading the
It's that
book.
guy who wrote that thing, Amy.
I mean, I did read Bird Box, but I don't remember.
Josh Mailerman.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Is that him?
Yeah, sounds right.
Anywho, he's a good writer. I hadn't read anything else by him.
You're a silly man.
The book is very good.
I'm glad.
I'm about maybe a little over a third way through it, and I am hooked.
Oh, speaking of books, did you finish it yet?
No, I'm 100 pages out though.
Mm.
The end is nigh. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
The Deadlight.
The deadlights at the end of the tunnel.
So how many times is this for you?
This will be probably the third time I
Oh.
read it. But I'm real excited because I promised myself once I finished it, I'd be allowed to watch the It miniseries from the 90s, and I'm so excited.
Does it hit different for you as you get older and like a different person when you first read it?
I remain throughout that book so in love with Lil Benny Hanscom. He's like my favorite character of all the characters. I think he's
Yeah.
and that has never changed. I still love Ben. I think in this one more turned off by Bill. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway,
I have to revisit it myself.
That's Amy's It review so far. But 100 pages left, guys, and then I can watch little Seth Green, Richie Tozier.
Oh, I'm still halfway through from
Hey.
a month ago.
That's fine. You'll get there when you
Yeah.
get there.
It's my own journey.
It's your own journey,
Yeah.
and don't put pressure on yourself.
It's a great book for just sitting like on your porch and reading it, like in a rocking chair or something. In a hammock.
If you have the upper body strength to hold the
To
fucking
hold the
thing.
book, yeah, that's true. You might want to read the digital one.
But you're
Why
reading
did I-
actual physical copy, aren't you?
I'm reading a physical
Yeah.
copy, and it's not paperback size. It's actually like the next one up, like trade paperback. Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
That size, which is very heavy and unwieldy. But I'm doing it.
Doing it.
I got my little
Wow.
neck lights that you wear around your neck that then point at whatever you're doing so you can see it. Because I'm getting
It's
old.
like you're caving.
and I need
Yeah.
extra light because my eyes don't work so good.
I've borrowed it because I have the same problem.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
getting old means. Your eyes stop.
I'm glad they make things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Highly recommend it. It's very useful.
for those of us who are losing our vision.
So you're just using your hands for anything if you're knitting, crocheting. I was gonna say something real dirty. I'm not gonna.
I thought you were gonna. I had a feeling.
Do you need a light for that?
Some people do. Different
I mean, you
strokes.
know where the stuff is, so you know.
Yeah,
You don't need
that's
a-
true. Pretty sure about where it all is.
Yeah, I think you can find it. I think you're pretty sure you can find it in the dark.
Hey-yo.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Speaking of the dark, did you want to move on? Or you have anything else for the top?
I'm ready.
Into the darkness we go. Turn out lights, it's the main attraction. Heretic, a movie I knew really nothing about.
I had only heard there's a lot of talking in it. That's pretty much all I knew
Yeah.
going in.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer, and the trailer is I thought it was gonna be something else from the trailer.
Yeah.
And I didn't read anything about what it is about, so it went in blind too, and it's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend if you're head in the sand like the rest of us, go in as blind as you can.
And also, don't listen. Stop listening if you
Stop
haven't seen it,
listening.
because
I was just
we're
gonna
it's
say
hard
spoil
to review this without spoiling.
there
it,
will
so-
be many, many spoilers.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it yet, stop
available
listening.
to
and
stream rent,
Come back when you see it.
So this team made Haunt too, this writing team,
which we enjoyed, or I
and A
enjoyed.
Quiet Place.
I shouldn't speak for
which was
all of
pretty
us.
good. Yeah.
Still have never seen A Quiet Place.
It's good. It's good.
I just feel like it's something I should have seen by now.
Yeah.
You've seen it, right, Andy?
Yeah.
It's a variation on something that has,
Heretic?
not reinventing the wheel. No, Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Ah.
Heretic
yeah,
is-
Quiet Place was okay to me.
Mm-hmm.
People seem to really love it though.
Yeah. Like there's a segment of moviegoers that was their horror movie,
Right.
Heretic is a little more left of center from that movie. I think it's a little more out there.
It's kooky.
Yeah.
I had no idea where this movie was going at all.
I had not a clue. You just have guesses,
Yeah.
and then they just subvert.
It reminded me somewhat of Human Centipede in the beginning. Just the setup of two young women with this older guy and the tension that's built into that by itself. But not only that, but like he requested that information from them. So they've been kind of lured
Yeah.
to his place.
The implication being that this dude has lured many religious folks
Yeah.
to him in the past.
Women,
Women.
it seems.
Yeah.
How did he lure them in? Did he like sign up for something?
Signs up for more information from different churches.
I guess as long as you're evangelical or that you recruit in some way,
Yeah.
then you would be the kind of religious folk.
Yeah, that makes sense now, because I thought at first they just stumbled upon him
Yeah.
And I was like, how does that work? How did how did all these religious people stumble upon him and get kidnapped?
But he's so charming.
But
he was laying a trap.
Yeah, he was, because now looking back on it, I see remember the sign up sheet, and they were going through the list of people that they were going visiting.
Yeah. So he's one of those people, we've all been there at home when you get the knock on the door and
you hide.
Yeah.
You turn off the TV and you hide and pretend you were never there.
Or you suddenly get, whatever materials you're going to get from the person if you answer.
I have gotten to watch.
I've learned after the first time they got me to look out the window first. And
I don't answer the door for people like that.
Never had Mormons. I have not had Mormons at this house.
Yeah, neither have I. I just had Baptists.
Baptists, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
So
it's such a fucked up thing they make you do, the Mormons. Well, Mormonism, I mean, I'm not going to be kind to Mormonism, so if you want somebody to be kind, turn this off.
This is what I liked about the movie, because at first I was like, I was not on their side just because of my feelings toward religion.
Right.
So it's not like I wanted them to get some bad things to happen to them, but I wouldn't have cared as much. You know what I mean? You kind of don't.
You're like, fuck them.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's me. That's just how I like. It's because I'm very anti-religion.
Right.
So it forces you to care for people that you don't necessarily want to care for.
The movie does. Yeah.
Well, I think the movie, for me anyway, shows how vulnerable they both are really well up front. Just how and this just the foolishness of what they're going through, for what reason, ultimately it's insane. The fucking Mormons are fucking insane.
Well, yeah, but we see there's something much worse.
True. Being a psychopath is much worse.
Yeah, this guy Hugh Grant, man, wow, he's really good. He's really, really good, because not only does he play this guy where you're kind of hanging on his every word as he's explaining things. Like, he's like this character he plays in this is like a good Reddit responder, like those people that really, they know their shit, or at least they seem to.
Right.
I feel he would be a good cult leader.
Yeah.
He just has the way of speaking to you and this charisma about him.
Definitely.
And I like how he didn't overplay it. He played it just right. He didn't go over the top with his performance.
Yeah, yeah.
And he could have easily done that too.
Yeah, like screaming and gnashing of teeth and all that.
Just camping it up, but no, he keeps it pretty grounded.
It's kind of darkly comic.
I felt like the girls were preyed upon in two ways. They were preyed upon by their religion, by the way they have to be, and the way that the things they have to do, and then they're also preyed upon by Hugh Grant. So to me, I did care what happened to them, because I felt like they were, what is the word, being taken advantage of.
Well, it's like
brainwashed.
The conversations between the two of them in the beginning were kind of heartbreaking.
Exactly.
How
I was like,
how naive,
how brainwashed
and
they are.
Exposed to the world they were.
Yeah.
Well, one in particular. The younger one.
Like the Blake Preston. Wait.
Paxton. Sister Paxton.
Yeah. And the other one has dark hair, so therefore she's a little more hardened in the world.
Yeah, she's seen some stuff.
Yeah. And I feel Anya Taylor-Joy wasn't available.
Oh,
because she looked just like her, in my opinion.
They do favor each other. You're talking about Sophie Thatcher.
Yeah,
who,
they want the dark-haired one.
Yellow Jackets. She plays the younger version of.
I called her Almond Taylor-Joy.
It's hilarious.
She's got nuts.
Bounds don't because you're thinking of Juliette Lewis.
Juliette Lewis, thank you. It was killing me. She's the younger version of her. She does a voice. She impersonates her perfectly.
Yeah.
But apparently the actors in this were Mormons at one point, I believe. At least one of them was, and so they had like some firsthand input, and that's they made it kind of like not stereotypical, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not like the elders from Book of Mormon. They're more down to earth characters.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I think the blonde was a little bit more perky.
Paxton, the younger one.
Yeah. Our final girl.
She's more of the stereotypical religious person that's like like Amy said, perky and like
naive,
like up with people type thing, you know?
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Barnes, is more. She's more restrained,
more reserved,
and you think she's going to be the final girl,
right? She gives off final girl vibes.
Yeah, and it feels like she's not a real believer either.
There's a hint of
like doubt in her.
Yeah, there's a hint of this is my lifeline, and I will not truck with anybody trying to fuck with my lifeline, even though I know. I don't know. There's a hint of she knows it's all bullshit, but it's all she's got.
Oh, you mean like it's her religion as well? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, also they're trying to out reason one another. Right. It's not just religion, but like as what was his name? The main character that
Mr. Reed.
Mr. Reed. Yeah, Mr. Reed, Hugh Grant's character. He a lot of it is these logic arguments of him saying that you shouldn't believe in religion because it's an iteration and a repetition of the same ancient ideas, and they don't really mean anything at all to begin with. And that's kind of what he keeps coming back to. Yeah. He's wrong about a lot of things in there too, which I think was on purpose.
Yeah, but I think that was for me like an interesting aspect of the movie, that he kept trying to break down their arguments and beliefs, and they were trying to do the same thing, but it's hard to argue with an insane person.
Yeah.
So no matter what he says, he's going to find a way around it, because you can't reason with him because his arguments are based on insanity.
Do you think that the movie was trying to say that insanity and belief in faith are somehow similar?
Well, no, I don't necessarily.
Are they putting them on
that.
the same playing field, or?
I feel he's saying like it can go too far in both directions.
But there's something about his character that feels like his origins are somehow like
he lost somebody he loves, and he wants to know what happened to them, and will he see them again?
And he's got enough.
They never tell you that in the movie, but that's what I'm making up.
It makes sense. That could be the case.
Or it's just straight up,
or he's just crazy.
Intellectual curiosity in what happens when you die.
He knows enough to be like kind of dangerous and convincing, I think.
Yes.
But again, like there's things that you could just Google and that he's saying that are very convincing when you're watching the movie, when he's using them to break down, why he doesn't believe in any of these religions, and that they're just like the board games and all that. Like there's things in there that are not correct. And I think maybe the writers did that on purpose. And because part of me would be like, okay, the writers thought, that's a clever idea and thought they could sneak one by. Nobody can do that anymore because everybody has Google. So like, I think he was trying to show that this guy, Mr. Reed, didn't know everything. Like if you really were paying attention, that he seems like he does.
Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily what he's saying, is how he's saying it.
Yeah.
It's the delivery that makes it so he's so emphatic about it and confident.
Yeah.
Very convincing.
Yeah. So that's how he breaks people down, because he has an answer for everything.
I really thought for a moment that it wasn't even going to be that. I thought maybe it was going to go like a Lovecraft route, where when he says, I didn't go searching for the one true religion, but unfortunately I found it. And I was like, oh, that reminds me of like Pickman's model or something, where you go down in the basement and there really is an ancient god down there or something. But the fact that it stayed intellectual, like I think the movie managed to stay, intellectual through the end, through the third act, where it could have gotten really goofy, and it flirted with some of that a little bit, I think, with some of the dialogue. But man,
I thought the dialogue was very Tarantino-esque.
Yeah,
and just the building of tension by talking about mundane things.
Yeah,
that's a very Tarantino thing.
Yeah, it worked too.
Do you know what bugged the absolute crap out of me?
What's that?
That they sent these girls out knowing a blizzard was coming later that day.
Yeah.
Did they know it was coming, or
Well,
was there a freak snowstorm that just hit them?
I don't know. Does that happen? I don't know.
Maybe.
But
A
I just
nor'easter.
felt the whole time I was just like, did nobody know this blizzard was going to happen? Because the blizzard fucks with everything.
You know what bothered me was that apparatus that was collecting the dripping from the ceiling and throughout the movie. It's kind of used to keep time, like it's like a Hitchcock thing. But I thought there was going to be some payoff with that device.
For a movie that had 1,000 Chekhov's guns,
Yeah.
that was not one of them.
It's
Even though it's
yeah.
presented that way.
Well, I think that was on me for. I was thinking it was going to be something like that.
I thought it was going to be something
Yeah.
too.
But also worked to kind of like give you that ticking, constant drip to tick sound and the occasional like release. Like it helped with the rhythm of the movie, I think. But yeah, but it also felt like it was going to be something.
And I was thinking the whole time, like, sir, you need to get your roof fixed.
Yeah.
You're gonna have so much damage, like mold and mildew. Sir, it's not sustainable.
Your roof is leaking. Fix it.
So like he's had him in this front room through like this first act of the movie where they've come in to talk to him and they are not allowed to be with him without another person in the room, female. And he says, my wife is making blueberry pie. She'll come out when it's done. And
The candle reveal is pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Apparently, they had special screenings where they shut off the scent of blueberry pie.
Oh, fun.
I love that.
During in the beginning.
And then later, the smell of hot blood.
Very Disney.
Yeah. The reveal when there's all these moments, tiny moments of this isn't right.
Yeah.
But we're going to let that go just so we can get to the next
They're being
step.
polite.
Yeah, I kept screaming at the screen, like, all these warning signs. Like, not even before the blueberry pie came up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
get out. And like Amy said, it's like the politeness. It's like, what's that movie that just came out with James McAvoy, the remake?
Oh, the Speak No Evil?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that where you're too polite to your
You don't want to be blunt to the
your
host.
harm.
Yeah. It's something that a lot of women need to. It's in the lady community we talk about.
Yeah. And
Stop being so fucking polite because you're going to polite your way into a murder.
that's what that whole book, What the Gift of Fear, is about.
Oh, I don't know.
It's the book that the guys who did Barbarian read and said it inspired the whole exchange between the lead in that
really?
and like it was kind of like a
Like, listen to your
Yeah.
instincts.
exactly.
But if you're just so hoping to convert somebody's soul, I mean, how huge is that if you believe in that?
Yeah.
So it's like you would do anything to save a soul, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's
So
just
fucked
trying
up.
he's smug and just it's not even about saving anybody or anybody being part of his religion. It's about people witnessing this thing.
Right.
That he just wants someone to witness this grand illusion that he's pulling over on everybody.
I feel it's just an excuse to kill people too.
Yeah.
Because he's a serial killer.
Yeah,
He's a psychopath.
like he's gonna find in his mind he has these grand ideas, but at the end of the day he just wants to kill people.
Do you think he had killed people before the one with the poison pie?
Yeah,
I think he's done it before.
Yeah.
the fact that he has this underground.
He has how many women in cages?
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
I wondered, I thought this reminds me
I
of
feel like-
Barbarian in a lot of ways too.
This is not the first time he's done this.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
considering all the traps and pathways in the basement and upstairs.
Yeah.
like he's thought this through. It's
The
not like
locking
something
of the
he just
door.
Yeah, and the fact that there's been other people lured there, obviously, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, what they've told me, what I've gathered is he's kidnapped all these people and has them in the basement playing out roles for him, depending on whoever happens to be the victim of the day. He probably has them playing like play acting at different things just to fuck with people's heads.
Yeah.
And you kind of Hugh Grant's such a good actor that you kind of feel like there's going to be some reasoning to what he's doing because he's so emphatic about everything he says. You're like, there's got to be some big reveal at the end that he either was on to something or not or whatever. But the truth of it is he's just fucking bonkers. And he sounds kind of like he's sane at points, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Because there's so much detail he provides.
Yes, because he
goes-
does
But
get
he
over the
ramps
top
up.
with it.
Yeah.
He does ramp up at the end, and
Yeah.
then he's
Yeah.
like a friggin' mess.
You watch the mania build in
Yes.
him, like when he's talking about the board games, especially. I feel
Yeah.
like that was kind of a scary moment because it seems like so comically harmless that this
Right.
guy is doing that or talking about Creep, you know, the iteration stuff.
Didn't talk about Creep by TLC. No, it was Creep by Radiohead.
Yeah, and the connection between that and what's the name of the original? The Air That I Breathe, or
All I need is the air that I breathe.
yeah, Lobo. Is it Lobo?
If you want me
Anywho.
to know,
That's all right. It's not important.
you would have had to tell me.
But the
before.
point was that Creep was the same chord progression and
Yes.
and
they
melody.
sued and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and that religions are just the same thing.
Which is not that to me is a very apt metaphor.
It is, and you're kind of on his side because of it, aren't you? In a way, at least intellectually.
As a an atheist,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that seems pretty clear to me.
Yeah,
They're just iterations on a thing. This thing wasn't working for us anymore. Let's make it change a little bit, and we're going to
Yeah.
do our own thing. And then we're like, well, we want to do it this way, and everybody has the same stuff in their. It's just mixed together different.
But no matter how, no matter what his argument is, I didn't care for any of it because once I knew he was a dangerous, insane person,
yeah.
it doesn't matter what he says
Well,
because
right.
Oh yeah, but I mean, from curiosity standpoint,
Yeah.
not morally, but there's a curiosity that you want to have satisfied, and you're like, maybe there's something.
But to me, I just took it as a ramblings of an insane person.
yeah, yeah.
Which they were.
Which
They
is
were.
what that's the truth of it. But like the veneer is so strong,
Yeah.
that you almost feel like there's gonna be a real religious thing happen before the end of the movie plays out.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be an actual like supernatural thing going on
Yeah.
with especially the way when the reveal of like when the prophet was that what
Yeah,
they called
yeah.
her did the body thing and
Yeah.
it seemed like she was not of this earth or something.
It was
There's
really
something
strange.
supernatural
Yeah.
almost about the movements and the shape of her body.
Yeah. The
And you're
cracking.
And the
like,
way she looked too.
what's
like
going on here?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought like maybe he's not insane.
Yeah, that was for me that moment when the blueberry pie came out. I actually got chills when there was a real blueberry pie.
Yeah.
Because thematically, you're like, okay, he faked this whole scent, right? Yet somewhere along the line, someone was making a blueberry pie for real, and with poison in it, with belladonna. What he said, belladonna and wolfsbane. He was making this pie, and
Whoever made that pie didn't do a good job.
yeah.
It didn't look good.
I mean,
That
it was
crust
him,
was
so,
fucked
yeah.
up.
He's crazy, so he's gonna be chopped.
That would put you in the bottom on MasterChef. Let me
Yeah.
tell you what.
It's true. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay would be like, it's poisoned.
What kind of
The
house
crust is raw.
is this?
Is what?
Is this a normal style house for wherever the flippity fuck we are in the United States?
No.
I'm assuming somewhere west. Assuming Denver, not Denver.
Utah, maybe? Because of the Mormons?
I was thinking because there's a sign that says Boulder Junction. So are we near Boulder, Colorado?
I'll find out for you.
I don't know.
Well, also,
Margo.
the layout of the house doesn't make sense to me anyway. So, I stopped thinking
Exactly.
about the actual layout and what kind of house it was.
Not
because-
even the model helped.
Yeah, it's
the model was cool, but
it
it,
was
didn't
like
help.
a
British
TARDIS or
Columbia.
something.
This is British Columbia.
It's where they filmed. But I'm saying, like,
Well, I don't know.
what is this home? What is this basement? This labyrinth? This warren of doors?
I feel like he made most
And
of it. That's the
hallways.
creepy thing, too, is like there's that whole set. The church he clearly made himself. And it's a building within the building because it has no windows.
It, and also doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's like when they try to show you how like Jerry Seinfeld's apartment on Seinfeld
Yeah.
It's impossible.
couldn't actually exist.
Well, they address it within the movie too, which is wild because he's like, you saw the profile of my house, you saw it from outside. I like he always sets things up like a magician who's like, we've never met before, like that sort of thing. That he has that vibe, although
But he's always distracting you from
Yeah.
from his true intentions. It's like sleight of hand.
it's all a big magic trick to him, and like this part is like he says, well, that's the exit because my house is only this deep. So the exit, you open that door, you know you're outside because you saw the house from outside. When really, I guess any reasonable person could be like, well, what about a staircase going down, which is what was really there.
Right.
And, it goes to show there's things hidden, below the surface in this situation. Like,
Yeah, like many.
It's like a murder. It reminded me of like the way we just saw people on their stairs. Like,
Yeah.
this house doesn't. With all these booby traps.
Yeah.
did he
a
have any,
murder house?
like real booby traps in this house?
Not booby traps. They're like locks and stuff like that. And
Oh, yeah. He had like the weird timed lock.
Elaborate.
Everything creaked.
Mechanisms.
I forgot about that. Like, that he keeps it under the light switch and
Yeah.
he keeps having to go back as Topher Grace keeps turning up.
Topher Grace.
Was that him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In a very small role. Super small.
The elder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As if Topher Grace was like, I just want to be a part of it, man.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like.
Do you think, I don't know what Topher Grace's career is like anymore.
Because there really were only 4 people in this movie.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant, 2 ladies, Topher Grace.
Yeah.
I don't know the 2 ladies' names.
You mean the actors?
It's okay.
Sophie Thatcher's one. That's the one from Yellow Jackets.
It just felt like I knew the dudes' names and I didn't know the ladies' names, and that felt anti-feminist. And I had to apologize almost for that.
Chloe East
Thank you.
was Paxton.
Thank you very much.
Elle Young was the prophet.
Oh yeah, there's 5 people in the movie, I guess.
Well, then there's the women in the cages.
Whatever.
We're not going to go through every person in this movie.
So would you say that the house is really the 4th main character? Would you say that? The confusing ass house?
The church in the house is very nightmarish to me.
It was also kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean,
The house was kind of
aesthetically,
neat.
yeah.
It was very creaky. I loved the sounds it made.
He had a
Good sound
miniature
design.
version of the house, right?
Mhm.
So this model that you're seeing, which they do this very Kubricky, you remember the hedge maze in The Shining,
Yeah,
where
they pan up and
it's real, yeah,
and you see them moving in it too.
yeah. He did that in this, and it really worked. It didn't feel like he was just aping them or anything.
Yeah.
It felt like I was just like, whoa, that just made my sense of location feel way joggered,
Well, it's
way joggered.
the way they filmed it,
Joggered.
like the camera angles they used,
Yeah.
the reveal of the big church and with the pews. It looks
Yeah.
like they used a fisheye lens or something.
Yeah,
Like it just fucks up with your perspective.
yeah. It never felt right.
Yeah.
Like the dimensions of the room didn't feel right, and the angles of the doors. There was stuff
Yeah.
just slightly off. Whoops, hit my mic.
You know what he said? You know what was real creepy and confusing is at the beginning when the girls are first coming inside, and he goes, "You don't mind that there's metal in the walls and the ceiling," and you don't know what that means yet.
They just blow it off.
But it's such a weird thing to friggin'
Yeah.
say. That should have been a weird red flag that something is odd. What do you
Yeah.
mean? Why? First of all, why are you telling me that?
You kind of
Second of all,
laugh.
why is that?
You think people are crazy, in a harmless way.
And also,
when
I
they say
think he's
stuff that.
testing them to see how far he can,
Yeah.
push them and
Yeah.
give all these red flags.
He also says a lot of things with a dismissive laugh, as if he's joking too. Sometimes, which you never know where he's at.
He's playing with them.
Yeah.
in a way,
Yeah,
which is so cruel.
yeah.
Yeah, he's playing with his food, basically.
Yeah.
So his whole plan is to use these women that he's kidnapped before to show that to test the people that he's kidnapping.
The new ones.
ladies. Is he testing their faith basically?
I don't even
It's the
think.
way he gets off.
Yeah.
That's for every serial killer. It's about getting off in some way or the other.
Because he tells us that you're going to witness a miracle.
Yeah. He's creating a new faith. He has nothing about testing their
Yeah, it's
their
like, again,
faith.
He likes to
Yeah.
I'm trying to find
destroy
logic.
their faith.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that they'll be left to only worship him,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess, or whatever this religion he's come up with is. I know that's probably part of it is he's just breaking them down like any cult leader, does, where they abuse the shit out of all the people under them and make it where they don't really know what to believe.
Right.
Ugh, scary.
He was creepy as fuck.
Yeah, it is one of his better roles.
Yeah. To watch Hugh Grant in a straight up horror movie was fun.
Have you ever seen Lair of the White Worm?
No.
He's in that. He's not like a villain.
That's more of a campy
Yeah,
horror
it's
movie.
very campy.
It's really fun.
Yeah, Ken Russell, right? I think.
Yeah, I just watched it last month. I mean, not last month, like October.
I haven't seen it in forever. I remember it being like sexy when I was a kid.
Ooh.
It's another kooky movie.
Yeah.
Cookie movie?
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah, we should watch it, Amy. I think you'd like it a lot.
Yeah. So once they're down there and like the tests happen and they figure out a plan with the magic underwear or the
Letter
opener.
Yeah.
That's the code word is magic underwear.
And like Freddy said, the who you think is going to be the final girl turns out is not her. That was a big shock to me when
He slit her throat.
he kills the the Sophie,
Barnes.
the dark haired one.
Yes.
Because the whole time you think she's more with it and has more of a plan and more proactive about getting out. And
she's like the Ben, like if it were Night of the Living Dead, like
and
you're like you
and
wanna
the
get
other
behind
girl
her.
is kind of like so wispy.
She's the Barbara.
Yeah. Ben and Barbara.
So that was a big. It's like a Drew Barrymore thing.
Yeah. It was shot. I gasped.
Yeah. And so when that happens, like the girl kind of has to like buck up and find her strength, and she does.
She does it. She does great. She fucking wins, man.
And this is where some viewers might not forgive the talkiness at this point because of the drama of everything that's happened now. Like one character you presume is dead.
Briefly comes back to life. Is it a miracle?
Well, once the second time he says magic underwear, and this time she stabs him in the fucking neck with that letter opener, and you think, all right, but then he stabs her in the belly.
That was a frustrating moment.
Yeah.
The when she stabbed him in the throat, like you're like headshot.
Yeah.
Go back.
Well, then it becomes very talky again.
Yeah.
That's the thing where I think some people this part might turn people off because
It was ramping up.
they
and then
both
it
monologue after.
stops.
Yeah, they monologue after what would be the climax.
The movie is edging you.
Yeah.
But
But
it's
I like
a whole
it.
movie of monologues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's fitting that the end has a monologue too.
Very stagey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I could see this being like made into like a one-room play or something. But it's some people that'll probably make some people laugh.
Yeah.
They're like, here we go. But it works, I think because what she's saying has value about the prayer stuff. Like I thought that was kind of moving. That it didn't have anything to do with the power of prayer. It was just being nice.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wow, it's a nice simple message for such a complex movie.
Yeah.
But how do you guys feel about the end where she just the first girl that's killed comes back to life all of a sudden?
I presume she wasn't really dead.
Yeah, I think you can go. I think the girl in the movie, our final girl, thought it was a miracle.
Yeah.
I think me as the viewer, I'm like, well, she wasn't all the
Okay.
way dead yet. Now she is.
Well, she was also like, not only was her throat slashed, another reason you could think she's dead is he cuts into her arm and takes out her birth control implant, which he says is like a chip that's controlling her.
How did he know it was there?
That was weird.
That's what I didn't understand. He just all of a sudden grabs her arm, puts a knife in it, and digs out this implant. He thinks it's some sort of like she's a robot of some sort.
Well, that's what he's saying, but also does he believe it?
I don't know.
I think he's just saying that to control her.
But how would he know that?
But
she
how
had
did
that
he
in the
know
first-
it was there?
Yeah.
Maybe he just statistically knew it was common and thought, I'm going to go for it. He's the kind of
It
guy
feels like a plot
who
hole.
spends way too much time on Wikipedia and Google. He probably
sure-
knows a lot of weird shit.
There's gotta be a
I'm sure there's an answer somewhere on the internet,
Yeah.
but like I missed it.
Yeah, it was weird. It feels like there was a frame missing.
Yeah.
Like something got cut out.
That was weird.
Yeah.
And also, like when she's talking about her past and her dad and the Taco Bell,
Yeah.
I thought that was going to play more into it, like the Lou Gehrig's disease and like trauma from her dad's death or something.
Yeah.
So that's
He
probably
said
like a red herring or something.
Blueberry disease.
Yeah.
That's
There
what he
were
said.
Yeah.
a couple of red herrings. That's true.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Taco Bell. I forgot about the Taco Bell thing.
I would hate to have bad feelings associated with Taco Bell. I only have the warmest feelings.
What was it that happened at Taco Bell that she didn't want to talk about Taco Bell?
Well, at first, like it was started off as a conversation upstairs.
Yeah, about
Well,
what
they
the
have- about
top
who-
brand is. Yeah,
Who has the best fast food.
yeah,
And he's like, what about Taco Bell? And she's like, we don't talk about Taco Bell.
yeah.
And it turns out it's just a story of how she was had really bad food poisoning and almost died.
Oh, from Taco Bell.
And that's how like she knew that there was an afterlife because it was
Oh,
just
yeah.
Because she had a near-death experience.
Gotcha. From Taco Bell. I love that little
Or an after-
detail.
Or near-death. Yes, near-death experience.
Yeah. There's so many moments where before, you get into the real nitty gritty of this, that Hugh Grant's character makes you laugh because you're like, oh, what a charming eccentric.
No, it was like there are moments he reminded me of Ned Flanders.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the way he like said oopsie daisy type things.
Yeah.
Like little idioms like that.
Well, the irony too, when he's talking to them about Mormonism,
Yeah.
his big concern is the misogyny built into Mormonism. So you're like, it's one of those guys. He says what you want to hear,
Pot calling kettle black.
like as a woman, probably saying what you want to hear, and the whole time he's got women in cages below him. You're like, what the fuck?
Hypocrite
That's
much?
the real shit you gotta look out for.
That is.
Yeah.
Your Hugh Grants,
That's a red flag.
your Mr. Reeds.
And the woman in the cages, that was really disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he had them in basic dog cages
Trimming their nails with pruning shears.
and like spraying them with water to keep them like sick and like compliant.
Yeah, that mist. He was just misting them. I thought that was real like a strange touch. I didn't really get it.
I think like it's cold down there.
And it was just to keep him sick.
Yeah.
He's like,
Keep
just
him cold.
mist
Yeah.
him.
It's just like a torture thing. You'll be
Yeah.
colder.
Ugh, that's awful.
Well, it's like a God thing. Like
Yeah.
what I control everything about you.
Yeah.
I can make you warm again if I wanted to. But
Oh man, this is some dark stuff. Entertaining though. Massively entertaining movie.
Yeah.
even though it was like so talky, I was never bored with it really.
No, I wasn't either. And I went into this not wanting to watch it. Because I don't want anything that is challenging at all. My life is challenging enough. But I really ended up enjoying myself. So
Yeah.
sometimes I just got to take the leap.
Yeah, I was surprised at looking at the runtime. It's almost 2 hours, but it didn't feel like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad at all.
Oh really? I didn't know it was that long. Wham bam to me.
Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Heretic.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Jody and Chris
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thanks,
making
guys.
us watch this.
So Amy, it's time to for you to pull a new theme out of that hat.
Oh, did we watch? Anybody watch anything else?
Yeah, I figured we'd do that after
you
we
can-
pick the theme,
You gonna do it now?
For next
Pick
week.
the theme for next week
and then we'll talk about. I have something
or for next month.
that for next month. A real pain. If we're going to talk about stuff we've seen, have you watched that, Andy? It's so good. It's
Well,
on-
wait a second.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Can you? What are you doing? One
I'd
thing
be
at
in
a
a real
time.
pain right now.
Do one thing. I was trying to facilitate Andy's idea.
I don't know what that means. It's your
Oh.
handwriting, Andy.
I need to take my glasses off. Oh, it's NOTOP. Night of the Living podcast.
What?
Movies that start with Night of the Living. Night of the.
Night of the
Oh, Night of the Movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Night
okay.
of the
Now I'm
Movie.
with you.
NOTOP.
Night of the.
I like that. I'm
I
into
wonder
it.
how many there are.
There's a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a fun one. I like that, Andy.
Yeah, I really like it too.
Yeah, just interesting to see how many different themes we can tap on
Yeah.
with Night of the.
So yeah, A Real Pain, Andy, on Hulu. If you like,
I didn't know that was out on Hulu already.
yeah, I guess it was made for
It's the,
Searchlight.
Jesse Eisenberg and
Yes.
Kieran Culkin.
Kieran Culkin.
This got
And
nominated
Jennifer
for
Grey.
a couple of Oscars.
It deserves it. It's so good. It's
What's
like
it about?
Well, they're cousins, and their grandma died, and
Identical cousins.
she left them money to go visit Poland. Like they were going on a heritage tour, and it's a lot of it's about their relationship. It's really kind of like a buddy road movie kind of thing, but there's some Holocaust themes brought into it just because of the nature of the tour they're on. but it's so fun and sweet and light. It's like a feel good kind of movie. It was really good, and it felt very real.
It's not
too.
sad, is it?
No, it's
I don't know if I
not
can handle
sad.
that right now.
It's not sad at all, but it's like planes, trains, and automobiles would
okay.
be the closest thing. The vibe is like that.
Like melancholy.
It has a little melancholy about it because it kind of deals with loneliness some. But it's beautiful, man. It's beautifully shot. It's really moving. I don't, but I wouldn't say it's sad. No,
Okay.
it's bittersweet because it's familial love and loss and all that. Yeah,
Probably like more geared toward very men, right?
yeah. It's definitely for like middle-aged men. I
Yeah.
would say.
But
There's a
they
sweet
could probably,
spot.
you could probably relate to it more than other people,
Kieran
like men
Culkin
at least. Yeah,
Is
right?
it middle aged?
Yeah, I think.
Isn't he?
No.
he's-
What is middle aged to you? Like 40s is middle
Mid, like
aged.
late 30s, mid 40s.
Yeah, I was about to say.
yeah.
I think
Oh,
middle
wow.
age is considered like over 35 or
Yeah.
something. I'll look it up.
I thought it was like
Like
45.
he's not much young. He's not much younger than us. Because
Oh,
remember he was
okay.
in Home Alone, and
yeah.
he was the younger brother that peed the younger cousin that peed the bed.
paid the bed. That's right.
Forward.
Middle age range.
You remember everything.
Oh, 40 and 60.
Thank you. I thought it was older. Now,
So-
I didn't think it started at 40.
Because he was probably like 6 in that movie, and that came out in 90. So
Yeah.
he's probably like approaching 40. or in
Jesse
his 40s.
Eisenberg was born in 83.
So he's only 3 years younger than me.
So he's 42.
All right. You're right. To me, they were just like mid 30s dudes. I didn't realize.
But Kieran Culkin was born in 82.
He's 42, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Only 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's the youthful middle age. Like they feel like they're two 20-somethings on a road trip kind of, but because these guys are just boyish. They're so boyish, both of
That's
them.
maybe why I thought they were younger.
They're so fun. Jennifer Grey's in it, and I didn't know it was her until I was reading the trivia or something, and she's great too. It's just such a good movie.
Glad to hear it.
You guys got any?
Hey,
No,
Andy, what do you
stuff?
got?
I saw the what did I see? The new Wolfman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
It was okay. It's
Oh.
a January release.
yeah.
for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. It's a new spin on the Wolfman movies.
Yeah.
It's not about like mayhem and destruction once he turns into a wolf. It's more leading up to it. And
Yeah.
So it's like an outbreak movie. Like we know with zombies first, like the first when the outbreak first happens, or like and the curse overtakes him. It's
Yeah.
like it's very The Fly.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's like body horror, and you know how like The Fly is about his progression toward becoming the Fly,
Yeah.
and like he's like clinging on to his humanity, and
So this is like a transition that doesn't just happen at the full moon. Like,
no, it's like
so they're changing the rules.
well, he gets like cursed by the previous wolf person.
yeah.
Wolf man, and like it happens within a couple hours. Like you slowly see him like lose his nails and his teeth and become
Yeah.
like hairy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's more about him holding on as long as he can and fighting it off.
But
and-
does he cycle back
No,
and
it's
forth
just- it just
between
take-
human and wolf?
It takes place in like a day.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not like
I gotcha.
American Werewolf where you see.
You don't see like a long
Yeah.
storyline with him. I
So
gotcha.
it's like very contained,
Yeah.
and it's more of a family drama than anything.
yeah.
It's not. Of course, there are scary moments because of the horror movie, but
Yeah.
it's more about the family stuff and the character of the wolf,
Yeah.
the human that becomes a wolf.
How does it measure up to Invisible Man?
Nah, it was too small for me.
Yeah.
For me, I need a wolf. For me, I want wolf movies where like you see wolf destruction and
Yeah.
them getting out there and causing havoc. That's the wolf movies I like.
True.
Yeah.
I like how they try to do a new spin on it. But for me, it was, you can see where it's going to,
Right.
very predictable at times.
You
And-
know?
And there's one moment is like a Chekhov's gun thing. It's like a very obvious one. And when it comes back to like the review, it's like, yeah,
Too much.
yeah, it's a little too obvious and in your face.
You know, you were saying like more actiony werewolf movies. I don't know if I've recommended this to you before. I probably have, but it's called Howl. It's the werewolf on a train.
No, no.
It's really fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 10 years old.
And what's the one that just came out like last year with Frank Grillo?
Oh yeah, werewolves.
Werewolves. I heard that's fun.
Oh, I need to see that
Yeah.
still. I want to see that.
I didn't even know it was already out. Honestly, I thought it was still.
Yeah,
on its
but
way.
I don't know. Slight recommend for me.
Okay.
You don't really need to see it in the theater. Just
You can
wait till
wait.
it comes streaming.
Yeah. Well, I will.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
People did not like werewolves. I'll tell you that.
Well, that's not fair.
No, I've talked to a couple of people have said it was really fun.
Yeah, I think I would enjoy it probably. I like garbage.
True enough. I don't really have anything to contribute to the what have you been watching discussion because I haven't really been watching anything. I have been reading
That's fine.
and watching MasterChef.
Yeah.
If you guys want me to update you on the latest Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion show, I can do that if you want me to.
Did it just happen?
The first of 3 just
Okay.
aired.
I watched
First
it
of 3
with her.
reunion episodes? That's
Andy,
a lot of reunion.
It's a lot of unpacking to
it's
do.
a lot of drama to squeeze out of these little hoes.
Ooh.
Okay, where does
Yes.
this rank among the other series?
Salt Lake
The other housewives.
ranks very high. These women have brought the drama and just they know what they are doing from day one. And there's only been 5 seasons, so it's not that hard to get caught up. I would highly recommend.
There's 5 seasons of the Mormon one?
Yep.
Oh, wow, I thought there was a newer. Maybe
That is a newer.
I'm thinking of that one that just came out, like the other series, The Secret Life of.
Mormon Wives.
I get those mixed up.
Yeah, that's the other one. But you know, I'm Team Bronwyn. Have never been Team Lisa. If anybody was wondering, and I know you were.
Now, do they talk about? Is their Mormonism very a big part of the show?
Not really, because they're barely Mormon.
Okay.
Like the one chick, she has a tequila brand. You're not supposed to drink, but she claims to be Mormon 2.0, she says. Then there's the other chick who drinks all the time, but doesn't want anybody that her Mormon friends to know that. Then there's the
Bitch,
one who
it's on
left
TV.
the 2 of them that left the church. And then there's the one lady who has her own cult. That's Mary. She has her own thing going on. That's not Mormonism.
Is it hard to tell them apart? Because I imagine they all look alike.
No. In fact, no.
I don't know.
Very distinctive, actually. This group.
I just assume that they have the Mar-a-Lago look. You know what I mean? With the center part hair that comes down to like midway, like almost down to your waist.
That's Lisa. That's why we're not Team Lisa.
Okay.
We don't like that.
But I just assume like they all have that look where
Yeah.
they basically look like clones of.
Well, there was
each
a
other.
friend of a couple seasons back that was at January 6th.
No, Jesus.
So that definitely happened.
So you're not too far off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still working on staying awake. It's still a thing. Did discuss with the doctor today. I think I'm going to try to double my vitamin D supplement.
Yeah, get that D, baby.
I need extra D. Thank you very much.
Oh, you.
And maybe we'll get better. Maybe I need some lab tests. Maybe I need a physical. Who knows? Why do I fall asleep every day
Just
at
go
like
outside
7:30?
for a little bit, get some sun.
Just jump up and down.
Yeah.
Just jump up and down.
That's Dr. Kelley's recommendation.
That
right
is
there.
Kelly's recommendation. And he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I got nothing. You want to read some names?
I'm going to read some names. Beelzebubs, patreon.com/NOTLP if you want to know about that. But I'm going to say some names right now.
Night of the. Go ahead.
Matt,
Night of the Mat. See? It's that easy.
Branan and Emily,
Day of the.
Dawn of the Jeffel,
Night of the. It's going to be hard to pick all these movies, isn't it?
Iona Goodwin,
I own a great one.
Dr. Brian, Land of
Afternoon
the Dr.
of-
Brian.
Land of the Dr. Bryans.
Does it have to be Night of the, or could it just be of the?
I think
No,
Night
I
of
think
the,
Night
yeah.
Night of the.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. Old Dirty Billster. See you shortly for some Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
We got Bill, Fahrner, Blayne, Yogurt. I'm going to stop. Jordan Sheens.
Night of the Spanish Fly. What's a porno movie?
Oh, there's Monica. We got Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora.
Go-Go Wieners.
What?
It says this 1976 porno has a very amusing conceit. A shipment of the legendary aphrodisiac gets crossed up with a truckload of Go-Go Wieners. They're hot dogs that make people horny.
Okay. Back to the list. Ernest, Dave, and Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you
guys.
so much for being you. All of you listening. I hope you have a lovely day. Fuck the Chiefs.
Bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old buddy Leatherface put on Dawn of the Dead. And Igor made the nachos in a severed human head, and they enjoy the movie with their friends. David Kessler walks the streets of London.